Some truths destroy you before they liberate you. Zen Buddhism contains teachings so brutal, so uncompromising, that they shatter every comfortable illusion you've built about yourself, your life, and reality itself. But on the other side of that breaking, that's where freedom lives. Today, I'm sharing 6 Zen truths that will devastate everything you think you know, and in that devastation, finally set you free. The Buddha didn't teach comfort. He taught liberation. And liberation requires the destruction of everything false, which means almost everything you believe about yourself and the world. These 6 truths aren't meant to make you feel good. They're meant to wake you up. They're designed to break the dream you're living in, the stories you're telling yourself, the illusions you're clinging to. This breaking feels like death. But it's actually birth, the birth of something real beneath the constructed self. If you're ready for truth that doesn't coddle but liberates, truth that breaks before it heals, subscribe now. This isn't spiritual bypassing or feel-good philosophy. This is Zen at its most uncompromising, and most freeing. Brutal Truth 1, You are not special. The first brutal truth, you are not special. You are not the protagonist in the cosmic story. You are not uniquely important to the universe. You are a brief, temporary arrangement of matter and consciousness, no more or less significant than a blade of grass. This destroys the ego's central narrative. From childhood, you were told, or at least believed, that you matter in a special way. That your dreams are important. That the universe cares about your success. That you're here for some grand purpose. That you're different from everyone else. Zen says, this is delusion. You're one of billions of humans on a planet of trillions of organisms in a universe of incomprehensible vastness. Your hopes, fears, ambitions, and dramas are cosmically insignificant. The universe doesn't care if you succeed or fail, live or die, achieve your dreams or waste your life. This feels devastating because the ego's entire structure is built on being special. It needs to be important, unique, meaningful. When this illusion cracks, it feels like annihilation. But here's the paradox, when you truly accept your cosmic insignificance, you're finally free. Free from the crushing pressure to be special. Free from the constant comparison to others. Free from the need to prove your worth to the universe. The Zen master Hakuin taught, at this moment, what more do you want? When you're not burdened by needing to be special, ordinary life becomes extraordinary. Washing dishes, walking, breathing, these become complete in themselves, not steps towards some grander significance. The liberation, when you stop trying to be special, you can finally be yourself. When you stop needing cosmic importance, you can find peace in ordinary existence. The pressure lifts. The striving ends. You're free to just be. Why it breaks you, your entire self-concept might be built on being special, more talented, more important, more deserving. This truth destroys that foundation. Why it frees you, you no longer need to prove anything. You're released from the exhausting performance of specialness into the peace of simple being. Brutal Truth 2, everything you're clinging to will be lost. The second brutal truth, everything you love will be lost. Everyone you know will die or leave. Every possession will break or be taken. Every achievement will fade. Every moment is already disappearing as it arises. Nothing you can hold will stay. This is the Buddha's teaching of anicca, impermanence. It's not philosophical speculation, it's observable reality. Look at anything in your life and ask, will this last forever? The answer is always no. Your body is aging and dying right now. Your relationships are changing. Your possessions are deteriorating. Your memories are fading. Your achievements are being forgotten. Even this moment of reading is already becoming the past. Most people spend their entire lives running from this truth. They accumulate possessions to create the illusion of permanence. They cling to relationships desperately. They try to freeze moments in photographs. They build legacies hoping something will outlast them. But Zen says, this clinging is the source of your suffering. The tighter you grip, the more it hurts when things inevitably slip away. And they will slip away. Everything is already leaving. The Heart Sutra teaches gate paragate prasagate, gone, gone, gone beyond, gone utterly beyond. Everything is in the process of going. You can't stop it. You can only choose to suffer by resisting or find peace by accepting. The liberation, when you accept that loss is inevitable, you can finally enjoy what's here now without the terror of losing it. Paradoxically, you love more deeply when you're not grasping. You appreciate more fully when you know it's temporary. Why it breaks you: you've built your security on permanence, permanent relationships, permanent achievements, permanent self. This truth reveals there is no permanent ground to stand on. Why it frees you: when you accept impermanence, every moment becomes precious because it's fleeting. You love what's here now instead of fearing its loss. You hold everything lightly, which paradoxically allows you to experience it more fully. Brutal Truth 3, your suffering is self-created. The third brutal truth: nobody is doing this to you. Your suffering is self-created through your relationship with reality, not reality itself. This is perhaps the hardest truth to accept because it removes your ability to blame anyone else. The Buddha taught, all suffering comes from craving and aversion. Not from what happens, but from wanting what you don't have and rejecting what you do have. You suffer not because of what someone said, but because of your interpretation and reaction. Not because of what happened, but because you believe it shouldn't have happened. Not because life is hard, but because you expected it to be easy. This doesn't mean you cause your circumstances. You didn't choose to be born, didn't choose your genetics, didn't choose your early environment. But you create suffering through your relationship with whatever circumstances arise. Someone insults you. The words are just sounds. Your interpretation creates the hurt. Your story about what it means creates the suffering. The event itself is neutral, you make it painful through mental elaboration. Zen Master Senken taught, the great way is not difficult for those who have no preferences. Your preferences, this should be happening, that shouldn't, create constant friction with reality as it actually is. The liberation: if you create your suffering, you can uncreate it. You're not a victim of circumstances but of your own mind's relationship with circumstances. Change the relationship, and suffering dissolves even when circumstances remain difficult. Why it breaks you: you can no longer blame parents, partners, society, or fate for your suffering. You must take total responsibility for your inner experience. Why it frees you: you're no longer helplessly subject to external conditions. You have power over your suffering because it's self-created. You can choose to relate differently to whatever arises. Brutal Truth 4, there is no permanent self to protect. The fourth brutal truth: the self you're defending doesn't exist. There is no fixed, permanent you to protect, improve, or perfect. What you call self is a constantly changing process pretending to be a permanent thing. This is the Buddhist teaching of anatta, no self. It's not that you don't exist, it's that you don't exist as a fixed, unchanging entity. You're a verb pretending to be a noun. A process masquerading as a thing. Every cell in your body is replaced over time. Your thoughts, emotions, and opinions constantly change. Your memories are unreliable reconstructions, not accurate records. Your personality shifts based on context. So what exactly is this self you're so busy protecting? The Zen koan asks, show me your original face before your parents were born. There is no fixed face to show. The self is constructed, not discovered. It's a useful fiction for navigating daily life, but it's not an ultimate reality. All your efforts to defend your self-image, protect your ego, prove your worth, these are defending an illusion. It's like building elaborate fortifications around a mirage. The energy is real, but the thing being protected isn't. The liberation: when there's no fixed self to defend, you're free from the constant anxiety of protecting it. You can receive criticism without being destroyed because there's no permanent self to be insulted. You can fail without being a failure because there's no fixed identity to be damaged. Why it breaks you: your entire life has been organized around protecting, improving, and expressing a self that Zen says doesn't exist as you think it does. This can feel like existential annihilation. Why it frees you: without a fixed self to protect, you're free to be flexible, to change, to let experiences move through you without defending against them. You're liberated from the prison of fixed identity into the freedom of constant becoming. Brutal Truth 5, your thoughts about reality are not reality. The fifth brutal truth: everything you think about reality is a concept, not reality itself. Your thoughts about life are not life. Your ideas about people are not people. Your beliefs about yourself are not yourself. You're living in a world of concepts, mistaking the map for the territory. Zen points directly at experience beyond conceptual elaboration. The finger pointing at the moon is not the moon. The menu is not the meal. The word water won't quench your thirst. Yet most people live entirely in the conceptual realm, never touching actual reality. You don't experience your partner, you experience your thoughts about your partner. You don't experience this moment, you experience your interpretation of this moment. You don't experience life, you experience your story about life. Zen Master Huangpa taught, the foolish reject what they see, not what they think. The wise reject what they think, not what they see. Most people are trapped in their thinking about reality rather than experiencing reality directly. This is why Zen uses koans, paradoxical questions that can't be answered conceptually. They're designed to exhaust conceptual thinking and drop you into direct experience. What is the sound of one hand clapping? You can't think your way to the answer. You must experience beyond thought. The liberation. When you recognize that thoughts are not reality, you're free to experience what actually is instead of living in your mental narrative about it. You can put down the conceptual burden and simply be present with direct experience. Why it breaks you: you've confused your thoughts for reality. Your entire world might be a mental construction, not actual experience. This realization can make you question everything you think you know. Why it frees you: you're released from the tyranny of constant mental commentary. You can experience life directly instead of through the filter of concepts. Peace lives in direct experience, not in thinking about experience. Brutal Truth 6, enlightenment won't make you special or solve your problems. The sixth and final brutal truth: enlightenment isn't what you think it is. It won't make you special, solve your problems, or transport you to some blissful permanent state. Before enlightenment: chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment: chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment: chop wood, carry water. This destroys spiritual materialism, the idea that awakening is an achievement that makes you superior, permanently blissful, or free from all difficulties. But Zen reveals that enlightenment is seeing your original nature, not becoming someone special. You're still you after awakening. You still have a personality, preferences, and challenges. You still feel pain, get sick, experience loss. The Buddha had backaches. Zen masters get old and die. Awakening doesn't exempt you from human experience. What changes is your relationship to experience. You're no longer identified with the separate self that's having experiences. You recognize experiences arising in awareness without being trapped in them. But the experiences still arise. This is crushing to the ego that wants awakening as a trophy, a permanent high, a solution to life's difficulties. Spiritual seeking often becomes another form of grasping. Trying to achieve a special state that will finally make you okay. But Joshu's famous teaching: if you meet the Buddha on the road, kill him. Even the concept of enlightenment must be released. Even the teacher must be transcended. You're not trying to reach some distant goal but recognizing what's already here. The liberation. When awakening isn't a distant achievement making you special, you're free to be ordinary, to be here now, to live this actual life instead of fantasizing about some future enlightened life. Why it breaks you, all your spiritual seeking might be another ego project. The enlightened you're trying to become is just another construct of the false self. Why it frees you, you can stop the exhausting spiritual quest and simply be present with what is. Enlightenment isn't somewhere else or someone else, it's recognizing the obvious that's been here all along. Liberation is this, right here, right now. The integration, broken and free. These 6 brutal truths work together to destroy every illusion. You're not special, liberation from needing to be important. Everything is impermanent, liberation from clinging and grasping. You create your suffering, liberation from victimhood. There's no fixed self, liberation from defending what doesn't exist. Thoughts aren't reality, liberation from mental imprisonment. Enlightenment won't save you, liberation from spiritual seeking. Together, they break you completely. Every comfortable story, every protective belief, every cherished illusion, shattered. This breaking feels like death because in a sense it is death. The death of the false self, the constructed identity, the dream you mistook for reality. But Zen teaches that you must die before you die so that when you die, you don't die. The self that dies wasn't real. What remains after the breaking is what was always true, the simple awareness, the basic being, the ordinary miracle of existence itself. This is the Zen promise, complete destruction leading to complete liberation. Not the liberation of escaping life but the liberation of being fully alive without the burden of illusion. The breaking is the blessing. The devastation is the doorway. The brutal truth is the compassionate teaching that frees you from the gentle lies you've been living. Zen doesn't offer comfort, it offers liberation. And liberation requires the courage to face brutal truths that destroy everything false. If these truths devastated you, good. That devastation is the teaching working. If they made you uncomfortable, excellent. That discomfort is the sound of illusions cracking. If you feel lost, perfect. Now you can find what's actually true instead of what you believed was true. The Buddha's last words were, strive diligently. Not for comfort, not for special states, not for permanent bliss. Strive to see clearly, to accept reality as it is, to release what was never real. These truths break you. But what they're breaking isn't you, it's the prison you built around yourself through delusion. The real you, the true nature, the basic awareness, that can't be broken because it was never constructed. On the other side of this breaking is a freedom so complete, so fundamental, that it makes all the pain of illusion shattering worth it. You discover you were never what you thought you were, you're the vast space in which all experiences arise and dissolve. Broken and free. This is the Zen path. If these brutal truths broke something open in you, if you felt the discomfort of illusions being challenged, show your courage with a like and subscribe for more truth that liberates rather than comforts. Your practice, sit with the truth that hit you hardest. Don't try to understand it intellectually. Let it work on you. Let it break what needs breaking. In the comments, share just one word describing what you felt encountering these truths. Just one word. Let's witness the collective breaking and liberation. And remember, the truth that breaks you is the truth that frees you. May you have the courage to be completely devastated, and the wisdom to recognize liberation on the other side. Until next time, may you be broken open into freedom.